Depression and complex post-traumatic stress disorder go hand in hand. What is depression but a frustration at an inability to move a seemingly immovable object? Frustration at not being able to fix your life over and over again. Isolation, having no one to share with, not able to share your thoughts, not able to even know what's wrong. How can you find an answer when you don't have the question? This leads to hopelessness. The idea nothing can get better, that nothing is of interest to you, not even staying alive. Killing time until it was time to go to sleep, doing this day after day, wondering how long you could continue to tolerate it. Quote, "Depression is the most unpleasant thing I have ever experienced. It is that absence of being able to envisage that you will ever be cheerful again, the absence of hope, that very deadened feeling which is so very different from feeling sad. Sad hurts, but it's a healthy feeling. It is a necessary thing to feel. Depression is very different." J.K. Rowling. Major depressive disorder, also known simply as depression, is a mental disorder characterized by at least 2 weeks of low mood that is present across most situations. Typically, people are treated with counseling and antidepressant medication. Types of counseling used include CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy and interpersonal therapy. MDMA and psychoactive drugs like mushrooms have shown some positive results. If other measures are not effective, electroconvulsive therapy may be considered. Hospitalization may be necessary in cases with a risk of harm to self and may occasionally occur against a person's wishes. 3% of the world's population is afflicted, while women are affected about twice as often as men. Quote, "That's the thing about depression. A human being can survive almost anything as long as she sees the end in sight. But depression is so insidious and it compounds daily that it's impossible to ever see the end." Elizabeth Wurtzel. Quote, "Instead of removing the conditions that make people depressed, modern society gives them antidepressant drugs. In effect, antidepressants are a means of modifying an individual's internal state in such a way as to enable him to tolerate social conditions that he would otherwise find intolerable." Theodore Kaczynski. Being raised in an abusive, traumatic home causes literal brain damage. Luckily, the damage can be undone to an extent. Neuroplasticity, also known as brain plasticity, is the ability of the brain to change throughout an individual's life. Brain activity associated with a given function can be transferred to a different location. The proportion of gray matter can change, and synapses may strengthen or weaken over time. That said, until the repairs are made, until a person realizes why things are not working for them, like it is for others around them, they will most likely fall deeper into depression. The experience is nearly unbearable. Some will turn to drugs and alcohol in order to cope. Quote, "I am in that temper that if I were underwater, I would scarcely kick to come to the top." John Keats. Quote, "Losing your life is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is to lose your reason for living." Joe Nesbo. A person having a major depressive episode usually exhibits a very low mood, which pervades all aspects of life, and an inability to experience pleasure in activities that were formerly enjoyed. Depressed people may be preoccupied with or ruminate over thoughts and feelings of worthlessness, inappropriate guilt or regret, helplessness, hopelessness, and self-hatred. Withdrawal from social situations and activities, reduced sex drive, irritability, and thoughts of death or suicide. Insomnia is common among the depressed. In the typical pattern, a person wakes very early and cannot get back to sleep. Hypersomnia or oversleeping can also happen. Quote, "The dissociative symptoms of the disorder merge with the concentration difficulties of depression. The paralysis of initiative of chronic trauma combines with the apathy and helplessness of depression. The disruption and attachment of chronic trauma reinforces the isolation of depression. The debased self-image of chronic trauma fuels the guilty ruminations of depression, and the loss of faith suffered in chronic trauma merges with the hopelessness of depression. Judith Herman. Quote, "You know all that sympathy that you feel for an abused child who suffers without a good mom or dad to love and care for them? Well, they don't stay children forever. No one magically becomes an adult the day they turn 18. Some people grow up sooner. Many grow up later. Some never really do. But just remember that some people in this world are older versions of those same kids we cry for." Ashley Lorenzana. I ask myself, why are you depressed? What do you want? When you are depressed, you don't want anything. The things you may want seem so far out of reach that they are not worth imagining. So how can you overcome the depression that is born of years of childhood trauma, conditioning you to thoughts and behaviors that are no longer needed? Quote, "Once conform, once do what other people do because they do it, and a lethargy steals over all the finer nerves and faculties of the soul. One becomes all outer show and inward emptiness, dull, callous, and indifferent." Virginia Woolf. Quote, "If you trade your authenticity for safety, you may experience the following: anxiety, depression, eating disorders, addiction, rage, blame, resentment, and inexplicable grief." Breanne Brown. You have to begin to educate yourself about why you respond the way you do. You have to begin practicing self-care, make true connections with positive people. Try going after the things that mean something to you. Unfortunately, with depression, it's a catch-22. The things you need to do to get out of it are all the things you can't do while you're in it. So you can wait for it to pass, and it will pass eventually. Or you may choose to try prescription drugs to give you a window of time in which to practice these things. Even though it scares you, you will have to begin living the life you want, not the one you think others want you to want, the one you desire. Life will begin to have color again, only then. Addendum. I want to say that I am not magically cured. Depression is still a part of my life. For the past 2 weeks, it has loosened its grip on me. That's the longest I can remember in a long while. During that time, I've been trying to be productive, writing and making these videos. I've released some of them, and the response hasn't been what I hoped for. That started me on the road of self-doubt. The depression came back. All my hope was gone. I felt worthless, and I went right back into suicidal ideation. Only this time I'm trying to fight it. I'm going to keep pushing forward, and that's some proof that the techniques and ideas I talk about here do help. I am going to reframe the narrative I tell myself, that everything is hopeless, that nothing will ever work out for you. Instead, I will say, it takes time to build something. Be patient and keep at it. I can't change anything if I hide away and never share anything. I've done that way too long, and it doesn't bring me any peace. Does any of this resonate with you? If so, leave a comment. What helps you with your depression? If you feel this video is helpful to you or may benefit others, you can support this project in several ways. On YouTube, subscribing to my channel and liking the videos gets YouTube to recommend them to more people. I also have a Patreon account. There you can make a small donation. I will be adding extra content there as a way to thank everyone. The link is provided below. However you choose to support this channel, it will be a small step towards connecting with others, which is maybe the most important step to healing from CPTSD. Thank you for your support.